So, welcome to another edition of the Super GG Bros Video Vault. I am Thunderhulk, and today the game we're going to be playing is Desktop Dungeons. Now, this game is a roguelike, turn-based dungeon adventure. The neat thing about Desktop Dungeons is that it doesn't take that long to play. You can spend, 10, 15 minutes playing it, or, you can sit here and waste a couple of hours of your day on it. I don't recommend that second one because this game will make you hate life. But for right now, we'll go through one of the easier ones. We'll go through the Venture Cave. So, as you see when I click on this adventure place, a little thing comes up, tells me what classes I've beaten it with, what badges I've gotten. This is stuff like, this specialist badge, killing the last boss with one type of damage, killing all the monsters without petrification. That's something you'll learn later. And then a couple little things like, what's the threat level? Is this thing really going to kick my butt? Some of the harder ones have 4 skulls. And this boss and this one is random. Some bosses are fixed. So, and then here's how much gold I have, which I can spend on things like preparations, and a little bit I get to spend on dungeon runs. So, we'll start off here. Now, at the beginning of the game, the only ones you have is humans for a race to choose from. But I've unlocked more than a couple of races here, so what the big difference between each race is what do they get for a conversion bonus. What that means is when you have leftover items in desktop dungeons, you can convert them. When you reach a certain threshold of conversion points, you get a bonus. For humans, it's a percentage attack bonus. For elves, it's extra mana. For dwarves, it's extra health, etc., etc. This means that some races go better with some classes than others do. For instance, elves get bonus mana. There's not a whole lot of point in making them a berserker. So for this one, though, we're going to go with my personal favorite in terms of just being able to stomp everything. And that is the Goblin Assassin. So goblins get a bonus to experience every time they reach their conversion threshold. Assassins automatically one-shot anything that's a lower level than them. You can see where this works out pretty well. So now we have the preparation screen. So basically, like, here's what the blacksmith offers me, here's what the guild offers me. Each building gives you various bonuses. So I'm going to go through, select a couple of things here. It's not really going to matter too much because I'm doing this just to show you. So, and there's my preparations. Now this stuff all costs money, as you can see by these fiddly diddly numbers here. So my kingdom gold is where this comes out of in the first place. But each time I go into the dungeon, I only get to carry a certain amount of gold depending on the level of my bank, which is this bad boy up here. So now we're in the dungeon. As you can see, all this black area here is just stuff I don't know what's there yet. Each class starts off with different stuff. I started off with these Dwarven Gauntlets because extra damage and extra health are always good things. All assassins start off with this poison spell because that makes them do more damage to targets. So we're going to go through, pick up some gold here. Now, attacking things in this game is as simple as clicking on them. If I want this serpent dead, I just click on it till it dies. But as you saw there, as you can see here, I got poisoned. One of the big things about desktop dungeons is you get a little bit of health and mana back every time you find a new square. So every time I reveal one of these, those little red things were supposed to go over here to my health. Instead, they go nowhere. So, and basically the entire point of this is you go through game monster by monster, killing as much stuff as you can, and hope that you get to the end. Again, like I said in the beginning, this game you can play for 15 minutes, or you can play for an hour, or you can play for 3 hours. At some point, though, you will hate it. So let's just keep going through this, and we'll give you a little bit more of a hands-on approach to it. Alright, now I'm going to show you guys how conversion works now. This is the fireball spell. This is basically how you do magic damage. Here's the thing though, I'm an assassin, I ain't got time for that. So, I'm going to do this, I'm going to drag it over here, this icon. This is how you convert things. Now as you can see, up here, when I hover the fireball over it, that fills up, because that's going to tell me how much experience I'm getting from this fireball spell. So, here we go. Shazam. Alright, now I'm level 2. Oh, what's this? This little wraith? One shot. Doesn't even get to hit me because I'm an assassin. Very, very useful. So, and here we have an altar. This one is to Dracul, which is one of the gods in this game. Gods give you various bonuses, but they also punish you if you don't do what they want. So, when I play the assassin, I go with Dracul because one of his things, as we'll see here, is to give you an extra level increase. There's no stats from it, but it's an extra level, which for the assassin is great. However, he takes piety away, and piety is this number up here, based on every time you kill undead. Now, there's usually a lot of undead in places, so I usually don't worship him until after I've cleared them out. So, stuff like this, you've always got to be playing the long game with desktop dungeons. The lower levels like this one, you can get away with kind of just doing whatever the hell you want, but the later levels, you are screwed if you don't play in head. Even just playing out every little experience point, sometimes it can feel like. It's a very involved game, and learning the mechanics is very rewarding in that way. And he's dead. Now, this slime here has physical resistance, so I can't just go up and whack at it. Well, I could, but it's going to hurt me. Basically, every time you attack a monster, it attacks you back unless you are higher level than it and kill it. So, if you're the same level, they hit you at the same time. And we'll just keep on going. Some monsters inflict status effects, like this bandit. If I kill him, he's going to curse me. That means any hit I take, I have to take full damage from. Poison is another one that we talked about earlier, so you can't regenerate mana or health through exploration. There's also mana burn, which is the same as poison, but for mana, and it also drains all your mana on the spot. That's this blue bar here. There's also corrosion, which will make you take 1 more point of damage for each stack of corrosion. Sucks. And weakening, which makes you do 1 less point of damage for each stack of it. So, status effects are one of the things that make later enemies a real pain in the butt. So, we'll just keep on exploring here. Yay, gold. We haven't come across one yet, but at some point there will be shops, and that's where you spend gold. They can give you, crappy little items or awesome items, but either way you get stuff out of it. Alright, now I'm going to show you a neat little trick that assassins have. When assassins reveal the entire area around a monster, that is, all these squares here, they get first strike. First strike means you don't have to worry about the monster hanging back. This is good because cursed monsters will give you a stack of curse for each time they hit you in addition to the time they die. So this guy here, if I attack him right now, he's going to curse me. But if he doesn't hit me, that's only 1 stack. So, Shazam. There we go, 1 stack. Not that bad, I can deal with 1 stack. Here's another spell. Again, I don't really need them, so away we go. Oh look, a ding. Nice thing about dings in this game, level ups for those of you who don't know. Free health, free mana, full up. One of the biggest advanced strategies is trying to level up in the middle of a later boss fight so that you get that much more health and mana. So, let's keep on going through this here. I'm going to start rushing through a couple of things just so we don't take all day here. He's too strong. He's too strong. Frame rate issues there? That's just... Okay, this is an apothecary. They sell potions. Originally, they'll only sell health and mana potions. There's also fortitude tonics, which cure poison and weakening. These ones cure mana burn and corrosion. This potion gives you damage based off your mana and your level, and this point gives you more mana next time you get hit. So, fun stuff, really. But not stuff we really need to worry about for this particular level. Because like I said, I'm just going to go through and kill everything. Alright, the spell I just cast is called Sidestep. Gives you death protection. Each layer of death protection means you get to be protected from a killing blow. So anything that brings you down to below 1 health just brings you to 1 health and takes a stack of death protection. Very useful, especially in later levels. Let's go through killing stuff. Dum-dum-doo. I'll never use heal. Oh, give that another level up. Oop, that was an accident. Did not actually need to do that. One of the other fun things about Desktop Dungeons is that each class really does play somewhat differently, but similar enough so that you can actually, you know, once you know what you're doing with one class, you know what you're doing with all of them. Some classes just take advantage of things a little bit better than others. Now, normally we wouldn't just go exploring all willy-nilly like I am here, but, you know, right, like I said, I picked the easy level so I could just show you guys what the game's about. And that seems to be working here. The music in this game is actually pretty decent too. It's nice dungeon exploring music. Nothing you're gonna be humming in your head all day, but type of thing where you hear it and you're like, yeah, it's nice. It's nice. So, alright, and that looks like it's about it for stuff that I can kill at this level. So I'll just go into this little sub-dungeon here, kill some stuff. Okay. One of the big principles of the game, as you saw from that sign, is what we call popcorn. Let me go right back to it here. Basically, the idea that you have these little monsters that you leave for late game for, you know, when you only need a couple of XP to gain a level. The other thing is that we didn't encounter it on this run, but there's a spell called I'm a Wall that petrifies enemies. But when you petrify them, you get an experience bonus on your next kill, which is crucial for a lot of runs, especially at later levels. Again, like I said earlier, you really need to maximize your XP gains with this game. Alright, now we're going to worship Dracul. So, we would just go to the altar, click worship here. Now I have all this piety. Gods give you a certain amount of piety when you start worshiping them based on the stuff you've done since. So, like for Dracul or the other god on this level is Torog, they give you reputation for killing people. There's one god that gives you piety based on levels. There's another one that gives you piety based on plants, that kind of stuff. Now, the fun thing about this blood curse is for assassin, it's double awesome, because first you get a free level, no stats or anything, so you're just killing things below your level, and the other thing is that it gives you 20 free piety, which we're going to spend on this blood tithe here. So, as you can see, we lose 5 max HP, not a big deal, because I'm not even getting hit anyway as an assassin. Earned Sanguine, which is going to make the blood pools that we'll see when we get back to the regular game screen give me health and give me a little of that extra damage. So here we go. Now boons increase in cost as you use them if they're repeatable. So like this one goes up 15 every time I use it. Alright, now we'll just go through. Oh, look at that, he's dead. And he's dead. Dead. Now, again, as you see there, when I kill an undead while worshipping Dracul, I lose piety. So, try to minimize that whenever possible. And son of a biscuit. Alright, so here's one of the issues that you'll sometimes run into is, you know, there are times when you're just simply not prepared for a certain enemy. For instance, right now, I am not prepared for a Tower of Goo. As we can see down here, he's got physical resist of 75%. So that means my attacks are only going to do 75% of the damage, and I don't have a source of magic damage because I got rid of my fireball spell real early in the game. So, neat little thing about desktop dungeons that most other roguelikes wouldn't let you do. You go back to the starting point here, click retire. Gonna bring us to everything that happened, yada yada yada. None of this stuff actually matters. And you get to at least salvage some of the gold based on what you still have in your inventory. So, not always an option, but nice when it is. So that's Desktop Dungeons. I would encourage you to give it a shot. It's on Steam. Type of game where, again, you can spend a little bit of time or a lot of time, but it's fun either way until you want to throw it through a wall. So Anyway, I am Thunderhulk, and that has been today's edition of the Super GG Bros Video Vault. Check us out at superggbros.wordpress.com.